Okay, folks, this will be a funny one, but it has a serious side as well. I don't know how this one's going to look. Don't know how we're going to make it look. It's a real funny one. I think we're going to go it's going to be a fairly large enlargement, but not the largest. I don't know how it's going to look, how we're going to make it look. Okay, let's see what this is. Okay, it is a plastic sheep, otherwise a ram with his telltale horns. And sheep, well, what a sheep remind me of, folks, is the way people follow each other or follow the fads, follow the leader, and they just don't seem to know any other way but to follow. And it's basically like sheeple, people who follow the leader, who follow this, who follow that, but don't normally, I think that's too big, the enlargement, who don't normally have any way of thinking for themselves. So they're often referred to as sheeple. And sheeple are like following each other and following celebrities, typically. And I think the sheep's head is still going to be cut off, judging by the scan. But basically, it's all about following the leader and not having any way of thinking for yourself. It's like the faculties of independence are not there, and I still seem to be cutting that head off the sheep. It's almost an A6 to a certain extent. So I think we've got to go even lower. I don't know why my intuition isn't working, but basically they just keep following each other and following celebrities, and they just don't seem to have any method of being able to think for themselves. They require someone else to do it for them, even if it means getting themselves into trouble and getting involved in peer group pressure things like smoking, for example, in children's, in high school especially. And that looks really quite interesting. The sheep has filled up the page with a little bit cut off the head, and maybe I could push the hoofs against the edge. But most people just can't think for themselves, and it can cause a lot of trouble in someone's life or in people's lives when all you can do is follow the fucking dumbass leader. And it really is a tragedy that we have this, that people just can't be themselves, they can't think for themselves, and it just doesn't work. And unfortunately, my dad and my brother are like sheeple. They're smart, but for some reason they've become like bloody sheep, and they expect me to follow the leader as well. But I'm not interested in following the leader. I'm interested in leading and trying to do something good for mankind by using my talents rather than trying to suppress my talents. My dad and my brother hate my photocopier art. Now I'm thinking we might make this more contrasty. So, they don't respect what I do. They expect me to be normal and to be a fucking sheeple. Well, they can go fuck themselves, because I'm not that kind of person. I think for myself, and I am proud to think for myself. I'm not interested in being a fucking follower just to please the crowd. The crowd can go fuck itself, as far as I'm concerned. I don't need the crowd's approval. I don't need anyone's approval. I'm doing what I do because I know it's right. I know, not think, I know it's right. Trying to get my work out there so I can find a long lost partner who I really adore. And I really don't need the sheeple to tell me what I can and can't do. And this is a bit crooked. This is a bit of a registration problem, probably with the equipment. But basically I don't need the approval of the sheep. I don't need sheeple approval. I don't need them, folks. I do my own thing, what I know is right. I don't need help from anyone. I need help for things like when my computer breaks or when something goes wrong, but I don't need any approval. I don't need to be told what to do and how to do it. You know, corporations, when they're advertising, they like to show how the product is going to be used, but what I do is I don't think like that. I often abuse the products that are being marketed in a certain way, like this photocopier. You know, I do things. I destroy the names of corporations because I know I need to do it. So I use their products in ways that is not flattering. So I don't care. I don't need to be told how this photocopier is going to be used. It's not being used anything like what Konica Minolta want me to use it, but I use it because I have a reason to, and I am trying my best to make a difference. And one day I'll become a CEO of a future photocopier company. So I'm really preparing myself for a bright future. And I forgot to switch the mirror image on, but there's our 2 pictures of the sheep. The sheep looks good as a negative, actually. It looks quite nice. But I really have no respect for the establishment of the photocopier industry, especially. I do my own shit. I make my own videos and I do my own stuff. And I'm missing a loved one, and I'm trying to get this stuff to go on television to find him because I can't find where this person got to. I don't know if this is going to go well as a Harlequin. It's a bit of a boring piece, I must say, this sheep. But basically, I really have no time or desire to follow the crowd or when I buy something that I use that product the way the advertiser wants it to be used to make more money. So the photocopier is something that I use and abuse for my own purposes. And I have no respect for the company that built this photocopier, Konica Minolta. Anyway, actually that's not too bad. I think now we can call this sheeple demo quits.